Welcome back to my second video. In this video I'll be talking about simply how the market works. So this means talking about three vital factors: supply and demand, critics' influence, and also the power of big brands today. There's a law in France by the name of Appellation Contrôlée which regulates the amount of Bordeaux fine wine produced every single year. So when there's a product that is high in demand but with a very limited supply, naturally the price of the product will go up over time. It's not rocket science. This is why when there are events such as Chinese New Year, for example, during which a lot of red wine is consumed, the price of certain red wines are driven up by the increase in demand. Now, the other reason why wines appreciate in value is due to critics' influence. And the most notorious wine critic of all time is an American chap named Robert Parker, who introduced the Parker Points rating system, which grades wines out of 100. Any wine with a Parker Point score of 90 or above is considered to be an exceptional wine and a very sensible investment to make. Whereas if Robert Parker gave a wine a very poor score, then the value of that wine potentially could depreciate. Drinkers, investors, merchants, and just about anyone else in the wine world have spent years hanging off Parker's every word. Having just stepped down, he's passed on the mantle to Neil Martin, and it will be interesting to see if Martin can carry on to have the same level of influence that Parker has had. Just like supply and demand, critics' influence is a very, very simple concept in the wine world. So, to give you a very simple analogy, it's like a top food critic going to a restaurant, giving it a very good review. Naturally you'll find an influx of customers, and over time they're well within their rights to push their prices up. The final way that the price of wine is dictated is through the power of brands. Experts say that if you're going to invest in wine, then you should always invest in the very best wine that you can afford. Now, this will typically mean investing in the Bordeaux Big 8. The Big 8 includes the 5 premier crus of Chateau Margaux, Lafite Rothschild, Mouton Rothschild, Haut-Brion and Latour. Also Saint-Emilion's Alson and Cheval Blanc, and Petrus from the Pomerol region. These wines represent the highest quality from across Bordeaux's most exclusive areas. Essentially, there will always be a market for the wines of this quality, and many of them have developed something of a cult following, such as Petrus. So join me for video 3, where I'll be talking about the current outlook of the fine wine market.